Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and today I want to show you the tropical fruit tree collection of the Botanic Garden of Heidelberg. So this video will be only inside the greenhouses. I'll do another video for the outdoor part of the Botanic Garden. Heidelberg Botanic Garden is a really beautiful, really old botanic garden. Don't want to make the video too long, so I will not tell you the whole history. And one request in advance. Sometimes I pick fruit in this botanic garden. I'm allowed to do so. I have a permit to pick a few fruit for my videos. But please, if you go to the Heidelberg Botanic Garden, don't start picking fruit. This is definitely not allowed. This is strongly discouraged. And you get in trouble if you start picking their fruit. Often they are selling a lot of surplus plants here. Well, right now they have just two bromelias, two ecmea, but sometimes this table here is covered with lots of different plants, sometimes even really rare stuff. I've bought stuff here where I needed the CITES document to possess this plant, that I just paid like €4 for it, including the document. So you can really find interesting stuff here. You don't need to steal fruit, and please don't steal plants, because to kind of cite Indiana Jones, their place is in a botanic garden. So this is basically like the entrance room to the botanic garden. It's mostly a collection of ferns and other related species, tropical and subtropical ferns and other related species. Heidelberg has a giant orchid collection, but most of them are off limits. But the nice gardeners, when something is flowering really nice, they'll hang it behind those doors so that you can see them even if you cannot go to those rooms. Well, in this fern house they have also a couple palm species, like the one fruiting over there. They used to have a lot of bananas fruiting here, but they removed them. Yeah, so not too many edible plants here in this first house, but the reason for that is, well, it's mostly ferns and other species. Here some coffee Arabica, coffee Robusta, with the coffee cherries growing here. Well, this greenhouse here is quite empty now, but in winter it's being used to store the collection of potted plants, which at this time of the year are right outside those windows here. They just left a few, like the calamansi, lime, and a couple of the palms inside. Don't ask me why. Usually they are outdoors during the summer. So we go back through the fern house. The center of the greenhouses of most botanic gardens, especially in Germany, is the big tropical house. This is usually the biggest and tallest house, the biggest and tallest greenhouse, so you can have bigger and taller plants here. Well, you don't need the big house for the pineapple. This is a nice sized pineapple here, look at that. Because it grows on a quite small plant, not higher than 2 meters. Here are some papaya trees, which don't have papaya fruit right now. Here a soursop, Annona muricata, with a nice fruit. Some big bananas. I hope I'm not moving too quickly. When I move too quickly, you don't see much. When I move too slowly, then the videos get too long. Here's some cocoa. What do we have here? A gnemon with edible fruit, but they are too high. In Southeast Asia, you find the fruit on the market and then you extract the edible nuts. Really tasty. What do we have? We got here a tamarind tree, but no fruit. a pandanus tree. The fruit are basically edible, but in most species they are quite inferior. Here are some more coffee plants with the green coffee cherries. Well, if they have no green coffee cherries, you can still make a pretty strong tea from the leaves. It works just like coffee, but it's technically a tea, a coffee tea. Let's see what they have here. Lots of nice palms, lots of nice gingers. Gingers are so versatile and most of them are so easy to cultivate. Oh, here some star fruit, Averroa carambola, but no fruit right now. Some monstera. Yeah, there are some fruit, but they are too high up. Here we have some calabash or miracle fruit. Well, at least we have the tree. We still don't have the fruit. The tree is too young. Oh, they took out a beautiful orchid to show to us. Look at that, folks. Look at all those flowers. That's really beautiful. The smell, however, is a little bit strange. I've had better smelling orchids around here. Here, a teeny tiny jackfruit tree. Oh no, this jackfruit tree had a teeny tiny jackfruit and somebody stole it. That's, well, I'm sure the tree couldn't have nourished this jackfruit. But still, I wouldn't have stolen it, not even for a video. Somebody stole a teeny tiny unripe jackfruit. Or maybe it fell off, no idea. Oh yeah, here's some taro. You can basically eat the stems as well as the leaves. Ground is covered with palm fruit. Okay, let's continue. We have a couple more greenhouses to cover. Here we have the damson plum. This was ripe and really tasty a couple weeks ago. Here we have the strawberry guava right behind it. I missed this one. It's already, the fruit already rotting. Last time I was here they were still underripe. Well, here the normal guava. The fruit are still green. I shouldn't miss those. Oh yeah, here the star apple, a close relative of the damson plum, but with fruit which are like 20 times bigger. More papayas with half-ripe fruit. I'm afraid you're gonna see nothing against the light. Yeah, most of the interesting fruit trees in the greenhouses will be in this big central tropical greenhouse. Now, here we have one of the biggest bromelia collections in Europe and maybe in the world, I'm not sure. Well, you already saw the edible pineapple. They have a couple of other edible species here, but they always missed them at the right time when they were ripe. Yeah, there are some pineapple relatives which are quite edible. But please, if you find fruit here or in any other part of the botanic garden, don't just go and steal them. Here is the mangrove house. Not too many edible fruit here, but a couple stuff like some pandanus. Oh, here is some yam. Well, don't eat the fruit of this, but they have edible tubers. Some papyrus, you can eat the young parts of this, but of course not the fruit. Some giant aristolochia flowers, look at that. Yeah, well, not too many edible fruit in this one greenhouse. So let's continue into some drier areas. Oh, and also, folks, please write in the comments, are those, well, first, do you like more videos about interesting fruit parks and botanic gardens? Are the videos too long, or am I maybe moving too quickly during the videos? Because if you don't tell me, I cannot improve the videos. Oh, look at that. This is a giant orchid. This orchid stalk, when upright, would be almost, well, would be over 2.5 meters. Probably no edible fruit on this orchid, but still beautiful. I don't know, there should be vanilla somewhere. This is the only orchid with commercially interesting fruit. So here we come to the dry parts. This is a greenhouse which is, at least in winter, considerably cooler than the tropical greenhouse. Not so much water. And the fruit you can find here are cactus fruit. You don't find too many cactus fruit in this greenhouse, especially so early in summer. But if you are lucky, you will see some. Just don't pick them, please. Well, here is another greenhouse, mostly with African succulents. So here your chance of finding edible fruit is, well, quite slim. Most of the African succulents are spurges, which are poisonous in contrast to the cacti. Well, I mean, you can eat the leaves of the numerous aloe species, but it's more like a medicine or food substitute and not like a typical food. Just stay away, well, definitely stay away from all the plants in the botanic garden, but especially from the spurges, because the milky sap can be toxic and can blind you. Okay, folks, those were the greenhouses of the Botanic Garden in Heidelberg. A really quick survey of the greenhouses. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the Botanic Garden of Heidelberg. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. And definitely tell me how to improve those fruit park videos.